What's going on, Rob, Mike, Richard? Do you need counseling, my friend?
Do I need counseling? I think, is that rhetorical? I think people would say, yeah, he talks to himself for 30 years, like in different voices. Yes, whoever gets this account retires.
How about that?
Right. Hey, here's the irony. Everybody needs it. Anyways, let me jump into the poll question first. I want your take on this for Key Auto Group. What's your favorite brand of football this time of year? NFL, CFL, college, or high school?
Well, that's tough. That's tough for me because that's a buffet at the Mandarin because I like it all, including high school football, which I dearly miss that I coached for all those years in Calgary. Well, the best part of the CFL is coming up now, and they are playing their best football, thank God, in many places, including Edmonton, which I was holding my breath because that was really, really very scary. But Trey Ford, boy, Jarris Jackson, they've got it going on. So I would say historically, the favorite part of football at this time of year as we get to Labor Day is the CFL. It is for me. But that's being real kind of picky because I'm a huge college football guy. There's a couple of games I'll be watching and gambling on tonight. And then, of course, you got the NFL, which for the most part is severely overblown, almost ruins the game itself. But it's been that way for years. But I am thrilled that NFL and, of course, high school football, you will never meet like a greater group of people in the coaches that spend that time with those kids shaping lives. Now, I know people want to say, yeah, it's all about the macho football stuff. Well, then you've never coached before because I'll be honest, those that dedicate their time, and there's a lot of them, it takes a lot of coaches, even in high school, to run a football team. It's more about molding people and young men to become men. It's to be, to put a blueprint to be a successful person beyond football, because what's the percentage of those guys even playing, youth sport? It would be very, very small. So it's really about trying to make a better person and make a boy into a man and give him some tools to move forward in life. So there is nothing like high school football, and a great high school football coach to me. They're teachers. They're saints, these guys, and I miss it dearly.
Yeah. Well, as I say, it's a trick question because they're all great.
Tough.
Now, Mike, as you know, audience participation is always fun. Kirk is watching in Toronto on Game Plus, and he says Chad Kelly is playing and putting up numbers. 3-year extension today for Chad Kelly with the Argos, but he says Nathan Rourke will be holding a clipboard for now and may never be a starter in the NFL. Oh, it's the CFL for me, for what's his favorite league. Your thoughts on Nathan Rourke, except practice roster deal, rather than coming back to the CFL?
Well, I'm a huge fan of Nathan and have been since he was at Ohio. So this is, it's almost like a personal question for me because there are certain things that happened in his career that I may not have agreed with, including the ability for the Toronto Argos to easily take him as their number one pick, which they never do, and they should have done. It would have been better for them. Now, Chad Kelly's worked out. I'm not going to, this is hindsight, right? So it's very easy, but yeah. I think in the moves that he has made, I've seen no fault in his decisions. What people have to realize is that the NFL is the most political of professional sports that I can think of. And look, they're all political. There's politics in all of them. But in order to make a roster, I know people say, well, it's because of his passport. It's because of, he was in the CFL. It has, by the way, folks, it has nothing to do with that. I mean, zero. I do feel bad because in his quest to become an NFL player, he was easily the second best quarterback on that team. I mean, forget about Trevor Lawrence. That's not a conversation. We're not talking about that. We're talking about if it's just things being pie in the sky and blue sky and airy-fairy, then that would have been very easy, a very easy choice. Even the eye test, if you were a football person, Nathan Rourke was the better of the two players and was always going to be that. He's a better athlete than CJ. But that's not how it works. Trevor wants him as his backup. That's kind of why that money was spent on CJ before the season started. So in some ways, the leap that Nathan is making is that he is going to be seen as someone that at some point is capable of taking downs in the NFL, maybe not as a starter right away because the league is what it is, but it's also short on quarterbacks. He is better than a lot of quarterbacks who will be taking snaps this year, but that doesn't mean he gets invited through the front door. He has to be invited through the back door. This is what he has done And I agree with it because it's the only way he's getting in. He went to the University of Ohio. He's a Bobcat. He's not a Sooner. You know, he's not Roll Tide. He's not a Clemson Tiger. He had to figure out a way somehow to go from where he was to where he can be. He's still not there. The journey is still going on, but his decision to go, even at some point holding a clipboard, it is the chance that he had to take. He knew it. It's disappointing, I know, for a lot of people who cheer for him, but we got to be realistic on how you have to get into that league. And what he has done is the only way. It may not look. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not Kreskin. I don't know, and I can't say that with another team he's going to get a chance. But the odds of that happening are at least there. And if you know Nathan Rourke, you just got to give him an inch to get through that door. He only needs it. You saw it against Dallas. You saw it in the preseason. You saw it against Detroit. The guy had a percentage of 108, even though QB rating isn't the end-all and be-all for me. It really isn't. It's the eye test on, does a guy have the poise? Can he have poise in the pocket? Can he read a defense? And then can he make a play when it breaks down? The answer on all three levels in the preseason was yes. He has given him a chance somewhere, some point, at some time to get a snap. That's all you can ask for. I really believe in my heart of hearts that we will not see him in a CFL uniform again.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But the one thing, it's been fun watching people's debate on what he should do and what he shouldn't. But I often say, don't assume what somebody else is thinking. Let the man make his own decisions. Because Weston Dressler had a Hall of Fame career in the Canadian Football League, but Mike, he played in 2 preseason games for the Kansas City Chiefs. Guess what? In Bismarck, North Dakota, what do you think means more? He was with the Chiefs for 2 weeks and got a tracksuit. Not playing in the CFL for 12 years. It's just the way that it is. And that's that's the way that it is. Hey, I'm sorry, we got to rattle some quick thoughts here. Sheldon Keefe and his extension. Go.
It is the only choice. There really wasn't another choice. They weren't searching now. They're not looking for an interim. Even if you would say, well, no, that technically wouldn't be an interim. Yes, it would be. Coaching is hard in this league. It's hard to find guys. And with the group that he has, they have clearly made a decision. No matter what they do or no matter what the result is, the band is staying together. That is clear. Even with Brad Treliving, with the way they've gone about Austin Matthews and all the contracts where the players call the shots on this team. I don't see that in quite frankly, in other leagues or teams that are consistently successful. You're telling me the blueprint is, we let the guys do the contracts. We let them tell them what they want. Nobody does that's successful. Okay, so that's number one. So this is not a surprise. I don't think they had a lot of options. It's not that I don't think Keefe is a good hire or a good pick. My problem is always the same with this team. What is it that you're doing this year that you didn't do last year that tells me you're going to not only win more games, you're going to win the games that count, and it's worth hardware at the end of the season? If you can tell me the Leafs did that, whether it's better moves and Domi and Pertuzzi and some of this stuff, that's all great stuff. But what have they done that tells me that they're that much better than they were last year? And for 6 or 7 years, it's been exactly the same. So I don't expect a whole lot different. This is just who they are. It's how they do their business, which is why they will not win.
Man, damn, you're good. I mean it. Is there anything specifically in 60 seconds or less that would make you say that the players call the shots on that team?
That would change my mind from that being the truth?
No. What makes you say that? What makes you say that the players call the shots on that team?
Because regardless of it being Dubas or Brad Treliving, who I like, and look, in reality, they're both smart hockey people. I mean, there have been some duds in this league, and a lot of them who have been in Toronto or make these moves that are terrible. But I still think when you cripple your team by term and by contract like they did, I like John Tavares as a person, I really do. But that's crushing. And no one's going to help the Leafs to get out of that one. So you have then put an anvil or an anchor on your ability to maneuver that team, and now you're beholden to these guys with these huge numbers. Other teams let's compare it to the years of even the New England Patriots. Who had the upper hand on that team? Even Tom Brady didn't. And Tom Brady's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's the GOAT. And yet, if the organization and the hoodie decided that, yeah, we're not going with you this year, it wouldn't matter if they were a Pro Bowler or a future Hall of Famer. You're out, because the blueprint, again, back to that word, the puzzle, the infrastructure is what makes you win. That's what makes you win, not the guy, not, as they say, the name on the back of the jersey. In Toronto, it is the name on the back of the jersey. We never, in the GTA, no one talks about Toronto and really talks about hockey. No one really talks that much X and O's. It's contractual. It's money. It is always money. And the Florida Panthers, what do you think for the locals that like the Florida Panthers, for those that do want to talk about Florida Panthers, would they really be talking about the run they made last year and talking about contracts? Because I don't believe that to be true. I don't believe that to be true. When
Mike,
you follow a team and you like them so much, I don't think contract is the first part of that conversation.
They can't name 5 Florida Panthers.
Yeah.
Here. That's a topic for another time.
I want to throw something before you go, because I know you're in Atlanta radio. I know you're in Atlanta. My go-to,
yes.
Filling my wheelbarrow full of money, the Atlanta Braves. I take 4 or 5 player props on the Atlanta Braves every single night and go home and cash every single night.
How about that? Hey.
How about that?
Thanks, Mike. Okay, have a good one,
Take care, brother.
Appreciate it.
You too.